Hello, Minnesota Vikings fans and NFL lovers. Today we have two pieces of news that are driving NFL fans crazy. Stay until the end of the video and you will be surprised. And leave your like, because this news is very good. Also leave your comment about what you think of this Vikings signing. Now let's go to today's news. Rumor: Vikings target 2025 National Champion QB. After Aaron Rodgers' lightning deal. After one of the NFL's biggest recent turnarounds, the Minnesota Vikings are back in the spotlight. The team, which went from a 7-10 record to an impressive 14-3 in 2024, is clearly determined to turn that success into a lasting legacy. And that includes the most important position in the game: quarterback. The team has already made bold decisions. First, it opted not to re-sign Sam Darnold, who had his ups and downs over the past year. Then, it surprised the league by choosing J.J. McCarthy as its new franchise project, selecting the young talent 10th overall in the 2024 draft. But if anyone thought the Vikings' search for stability under center was over, they thought wrong. According to growing rumors and the latest mock draft published by ESPN's Ben Solak, the Vikings are strongly tipped to select Ohio State quarterback Will Howard in the 6th round of the 2025 NFL Draft. The quarterback's potential arrival adds a new chapter to the franchise's already busy offseason and reignites discussions about what the team really expects for the future of the position. Aaron Rodgers' farewell before it even starts. The news also comes after a brief, and at the very least curious, speculation about a possible signing of Aaron Rodgers. The four-time MVP, recently released by the Jets, was considered a veteran bridge in Minnesota. However, according to General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, the talks did not progress. I think we've reached a point where everyone has been transparent, but right now we feel good about where we're headed, Adofo-Mensah said. Rodgers has a great relationship with Kevin O'Connell, but we're focused on who's here. Rodgers, increasingly removed from the plans of franchises that aim to build with youth, seems to be running out of options, and the Vikings have made it clear that his future is about development, not improvisation. With that, the spotlight turns to Will Howard, a name that gained traction behind the scenes after a sensational college season. The former Kansas State player, who transferred to Ohio State, had a redemptive 2024. He threw for 4,010 yards, 35 touchdowns and only 10 interceptions, in addition to completing 73% of his passes and winning the national title, being named the offensive MVP of the final. According to Solak, Howard could be a real bargain in the 6th round. Ideally, the Vikings would draft a quarterback earlier, but Howard in the 6th round is a good deal. He looks like a reliable veteran, big, strong in contact, and with good field reading. He's not impulsive, knows how to navigate the pocket, and can access all levels with his passes. He also highlighted that Howard's style of play fits perfectly into Kevin O'Connell's scheme, which prioritizes simplified reads and protects young QBs from overly complex decisions. With McCarthy being groomed as the future starter, Howard could arrive with a support role, or even as a Plan B if the young Michigan native takes a while to get going. The scenario is reminiscent of Jacoby Brissett, a reliable quarterback who, even without star status, built a solid career as a luxury backup, something the Vikings seem to value. Additionally, the prospect of Howard throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, along with a well-structured system, makes Minnesota an ideal environment for a rising quarterback. Even without fanfare, the Vikings are making strategic moves with a long-term focus. By moving on from Rodgers and focusing on young talent like Howard, the franchise is reinforcing its commitment to a new era, one built on patience, intelligence, and vision. The 2025 NFL Draft is fast approaching, and the anticipation is only growing. If Will Howard dons the purple and gold, the NFL could be about to see the birth of a new chapter in the Vikings' already rich history. Hot rumor: Isaiah Pacheco's Chiefs, Future hangs in the balance, and the Vikings could be his next destination. The 2025 season could be a turning point in the career of Isaiah Pacheco, the explosive running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. The player, who has won over fans and critics with his aggressive and tireless style since entering the league, now finds himself facing the biggest challenge of his professional career, proving that he still deserves a place in the attack led by Patrick Mahomes, and, who knows, a new contract. Pacheco is in the final year of his rookie contract, and his future in Kansas City is increasingly cloudy. While coach Andy Reid continues to publicly support the player, sources close to the franchise indicate that there is some caution behind the scenes. They still believe in Pacheco's talent, but they want to see physical consistency. He needs to show that he can stay healthy for an entire season, revealed a journalist close to the team. Fear makes sense. After a serious injury that sidelined him for much of last season, Pacheco saw veteran Kareem Hunt take the spotlight with solid performances. The management's response was quick. Hunt was kept on the roster, and the team also bolstered the sector, with the arrival of former 49ers Elijah Mitchell via free agency, a clear sign that the Chiefs' front office is preparing for a possible change in direction. And that change may be closer than it seems. There is speculation that the team is considering selecting a new running back in the next draft, which would leave Pacheco in a delicate situation, that of being perhaps the third option at his own position, an unthinkable reality just 2 years ago when he was a key player in the Super Bowl campaign. But if Kansas City starts looking toward the future without him, other teams are ready to pounce. One of them in particular has been attracting attention: the Minnesota Vikings. According to sources close to the Minneapolis team, the Vikings are closely monitoring Pacheco's situation. The team is looking for a new name to revitalize its ground attack, especially after struggling in recent seasons to establish a consistent running game. With room on the payroll and an offensive philosophy in transition from the Dalvin Cook era, Minnesota sees Pacheco as the ideal profile to lead the backfield: young, explosive, versatile, and eager to prove his worth. He's the kind of player who can change the dynamic of an offense. If the Chiefs do let him go, the Vikings will be ready to talk, said an NFC North insider. The connection makes sense. The Vikings' offensive system favors backs with the ability to break tackles and contribute in the passing game, 2 of Pacheco's main strengths. A move to Minnesota could even represent a new beginning for the player, with more opportunities, greater prominence, and perhaps even a more valuable contract. With so many factors at play, the 2025 season becomes decisive. Pacheco is aware that every snap, every yard gained, and every run counts, not just in helping the Chiefs win another title, but in defining their future in the league. If he can stay healthy and recapture the form that made him a sensation as a rookie, Pacheco could force the Chiefs' front office to rethink its plans. Otherwise, goodbye will be inevitable. And the Vikings, by all indications, are already welcoming them with open arms.